Hey everyone, it's Job. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are celebrating Junk Journal January. I am so lucky to be part of this lovely project hosted by a good friend, Meg of Meg Journals and Get Messy. If you don't know what Junk Journal January is, it's basically a prompt project where each day you have a prompt related to junk journaling. And this project has been going on for a few years now, and Meg actually hosts Junk Journal January and Junk Journal July. So be sure to check out all of her information and all of the project information down in the description bar. But basically, the fun thing about this project is that there's a video for each day and each prompt. So if you're stuck on your ideas, you can always watch a corresponding video related to the prompt. So I'll leave the playlist down below, but I have been tasked with day 21, which is a little bit daunting, but it is the word experimental, which I think is a fun prompt because you can really just take it wherever you want to go. I think the first thing that I need to say is that I did not create a junk journal for January, and so the first, I guess, thing that's experimental with this spread is that we are creating a junk journal vibe in an existing notebook insert. I'm using a Traveler's Notebook insert, which is just, plain boring white dot grid paper, and so we're gonna jazz it up. And I've had this print for the longest time. This is from Flow magazine, and I received it in some Happy Mail, and it is so lovely. And I thought, why don't we use it today to create an experimental junk journal type spread? And so today's vibe is accordion. So I'll get into it, but basically we're gonna use an accordion fold to create some dimension to this spread, as well as to repurpose this lovely art print from Flow magazine. So for this spread, I wanted one page to stand on its own, just like a regular page, but I wanted the other page to have this accordion fold. So I'm just folding, as you can see, the page on itself. I didn't really measure anything out. I probably should have, so I would have, really consistent folds. But I wanted this to be very textural and very organic, and so I just went for it. And as you can see, I'm just reinforcing all of the folds. It was really fun to actually fold out because you can still kind of see the print. I didn't really want to get rid of the print because this is why I love this print so much, but I just wanted to jazz it up, especially for 2023, and especially for this prompt. It's supposed to be experimental, so we are going to skew it up a bit, and it looks a little bit more abstract right now since it's all folded up. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I overthink these things, or not over engineer, but like I over plan for these things. So I'm glad I just kind of went for it. And so as you can see, I'm just trimming this down to 21 centimeters because my junk journal, or my pseudo junk journal, since it's just a regular insert, is 21 centimeters long. So I'm just cutting it down to the right size. Usually if this was a junk journal, I wouldn't cut or care about the edges, because that's what I love about junk journaling. It's more free, and there's a lot of textures and torn edges, which I like. But I thought it would be nice to juxtapose this kind of more experimental spread with just no overhangs and having everything cut directly at a straight line. So this is the part that I was I guess I was a little concerned if it was going to turn out, but basically I used a pencil first, and I just lined up my ruler where each fold occurred on the accordion fold paper, and then I just drew a line over top of this floral cutout that I have from I don't want to say vintage, it's like a used, it's from a used bookstore notebook, used bookstore book. It had floral illustrations, and so I cut it up, and I keep a large stash of these to use for a rainy day, because they are so stunning and are such a statement in a journal, especially a junk journal. And I actually just cut it up in different slices. As you can see, I didn't measure anything earlier, so all of these segments are all a little bit different in their width, but they fit exactly to the fold. So that's all that really matters, because once you glue them down, they all just have to fit back together like a puzzle. And so, oh my gosh, please don't judge me, but I actually cut up a bunch of my Christmas cards to save some of like the drawings from students instead of actually keeping the whole card, so I can put it in my December daily journal. So I'm using this as a little scrap piece of paper to glue stuff, but I hope I hope you're not cringing at the cut up card. But as you can see, you can see the effect kind of happening already. So each piece is going to be glued for the different segment of the accordion, and when you open it up, it exposes the full print, but in a, I guess, more abstract manner, because we have these little floral overlays over top of the print. So the hand on that original Flow magazine cutout print is still visible, but like there's these like pink blobs that don't really make sense until you fold the little accordion back together. And I thought this was pretty experimental. I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while, but I'm glad that this prompt finally pushed me and allowed me to create a spread like this, because I think it turned out really cool. At this point, I had, I think, all 4 segments that I cut out glued onto the accordion part, and now it's time to glue the actual page down to the spread. And I am keeping, you know, one page fully just intact, plain and simple, and we'll have one page that is kind of like, I guess you would call this like an accordion page that acts kind of like a tip in. We basically just tip this in onto the left hand side of the spread, so we have a lot of space to work with on the right hand side of the spread. And I thought about, you know, maybe just having it blank and not journaling about it, but it felt weird because it's like a hidden journaling spot, so we had to make the most of it. So again, in the spirit of junk journaling, I used more of this craft paper that I've been hoarding as a scrap piece of paper for the longest time. I kept a little bit of the torn edge there, but we're gonna cut off again all of the overhang over here. And I really love repurposing all of the packaging that I get in the mail, because you can create cool and quick backgrounds like this. I don't know why that was a little bit of a tongue twister. Cool and quick. Actually, that wasn't as much of a tongue twister after I said it. But now we are gluing the rest of this flower down, and as you can see, there is some overhang, and so I'm just using, again, my trusty pencil to guide me where I'm going to cut the overhang. And I am still torn if I'm going to use this overhang on a different part of the spread, but for now we're just going to glue down this final piece. So right now you can kind of see it come together. It looks like, you know, there's just a casual flower on the spread. You might be wondering, oh, it looks, you know, not too exciting, but boom, it's an accordion. And I think, you know, it might be really fun to actually create something in the negative space of the accordion. I didn't kind of think about that for this spread, but I think you can even create a double accordion, so when you crease the folds the other way, you should be able to get another image. But I think I'll have to go back to the drawing board and see how I can further use this technique in different ways in a junk journal. But I feel like the possibilities are endless, because even if you don't put any other like images on the folds, you can just hide like a little secret message within the accordion. And again, here is another card that I have. For context, I receive a lot of like holiday cards from students, and so it gets to a point where I just take a picture of the message inside, and I usually print that out in my December daily rather than keeping the physical card, unless it's, you know, a hand-drawn card or something, you know, very special. I just have learned to like weed through a lot of the cards, because I don't want it to become a large mound of I don't want to say clutter, but a large mound of cards that are taking up space. So I rather just declutter and keep it digitally instead. But as you can see, while I was rambling about cards, I ended up putting the overhang on the left hand side of the spread instead of just, you know, chucking it, because I thought it looked really cool. It looks like the image, you know, goes past the accordion and past the spread and like goes back to the other side of the spread, which, you know, adds some visual cohesion to the spread. So we have both pages filled with the same flower. I was gonna say decal, but flower ephemera, I guess, or found item. And then I put a piece of washi tape, and then I was feeling bold, and I just kind of cut directly instead of measuring it out and then cutting my washi tape to that length. I just taped it on and then just lightly pressed the blade against the washi tape so it would separate. And it looks really cool because when you open it up, you also get the washi tape as a little I guess one more thing that kind of separates to reveal, you know, the print behind it, just like the floral elements that we cut out. I have this paper, I believe it is from a Japanese book. I'm actually not sure what it's from, but I know that it was from some Happy Mail. So thank you to the lovely friend who sent that over. I just wanted to cover up the remnants of the Flow magazine there because I wanted to create some sort of collage at the back. I didn't know if I wanted to create a full-on other kind of accordion fold situation here, but I added some washi tape. This is a washi tape from, I was gonna say MT. It is my own washi tape. This is a Job's Journal washi tape that I carried last year. It is from the Memories of Home collection, and I really love that because it has a lot of floral elements and it has the same color palette that I'm using right now. I have this kind of, this is actually pseudo letterpress paper. I actually don't think it is letterpress, but it looks like the classic-y letterpress paper. I also don't know where this came from. I think it was from Happy Mail as well. And then I added my journaling here because I realized I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna accordion this written piece of journaling and glue it onto the back side of the accordion, which you can see right now. We kind of decorated it a little bit, but I thought I would just go for it. So after, you know, writing a little blurb about my day, I'm gonna actually glue it down, and then we're gonna go with the same technique as we did with the washi tape and actually slice through this piece of paper, which is actually a little bit more ambitious because it's thicker than washi tape. So I was a little bit nervous that I would slice through like the whole accordion, but ever since I purchased my Olfa top sheet cutter, which I'm not using right now, I'm just using a regular old X-Acto knife, I feel like I've learned a little bit more about like how much pressure to put when using like a blade or an X-Acto knife. So I kind of was feeling confident and I just went for it. But again, this could be easily done without, you know, this risk by kind of just measuring each section of the fold, using a pencil to mark the lines, and then just cutting it out with, you know, scissors or an X-Acto knife. But it ended up all right. This is the last slice we're gonna make, and yep, it looks really cool. Like in person, it looks just as clear. Like I can still read my journaling. You definitely have to hold it down because the accordion fold kind of just wants to open up, so you kind of have to hold it down if you're going to use it. If you're going to read it. Also, can I just say, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back right now because I'm using a glue stick instead of a tape runner. In the spirit of junk journaling, I feel like it's just easier to use glue in this situation, just because we need a lot of surfaces to be really held down securely. And not saying that tape runner doesn't do that, but sometimes, you know, tape runner is kind of weird with different textures, so I just went with glue. I'm using the GLOO brand from Kokuyo. It smells fantastic. I'm out here sniffing the glue, just kidding, but it does smell good. It smells like baby powder. And then I added this lovely, oh my gosh, the itty bittiest tearaway calendar. This is from my good friend Abby, my Capricorn bestie. She got this for me in Berlin, and it's a German tearaway calendar tearaway calendar sheet, or tearaway calendar. It's all in German, but I just love how small it is. It reminds me of the ones that I used to buy in Korea that were slightly larger, but I really like this size because for the past 2 years I've been using the moon phase calendar and this other one that I got from Amazon Japan that are just too big for a passport size traveler's notebook, and this is perfecto. I added a Rush sticker from some Happy Meal, I believe, and then I had to make sure to add some PET tape, so I used a little piece of PET tape from, what brand is this? This is from, ooh, I do not remember. Is it Wildberry Lab? Yes, it's from Wildberry Lab. From papergame.co or Etsy. You can find them on Etsy as well. The one thing that I needed to be mindful of when journaling and collaging here is that it doesn't, like any of the elements that I add to this side of the spread don't, I guess, cross over to where the flower is. You can kind of see like an imaginary line right now where the flower is, like where it's cut. If I go past that, anything, you know, past that imaginary line will be visible on the accordion when it's like pressed down. So I just made sure to keep all of my journaling I guess behind that line, but this is pretty much like the completed spread. It just looks so cool. I'm so glad that we pulled this off. The backside is equally fun and impressive because it reveals, you know, the journaling, but I just love how this kind of, you know, from far away, or if you're not really paying attention, it just looks like a fun collaged spread, but it really gives off very experimental junk journaling vibes. Okay, and then this is where the bad luck slash I guess I was on autopilot kind of kicks in. I don't want to say bad luck, it's just me being forgetful, but I ended up writing 2022 instead of 2023. I feel like that's me in January. I just write the date wrong perpetually. I feel like I only get the date right in like probably like May or maybe March at least, but I put 2022, but I'm supposed to say 2023, and I put a year of courage and letting go, which is, you know, I haven't really chosen my words yet. I'm maybe at the point of you watching this, I probably have like, you know, a vision board slash my word for the year, but at the time of filming this, I just didn't know what it was. But when I was talking to Abby, actually, the lovely friend who got me the calendar, they said maybe letting go would be one, because I'm kind of holding on to a lot of things right now, and, you know, I'm kind of resistant to change, but I think letting go and, you know, being courageous in my choices is something that I want to focus on in 2022. No, 2023. There you go. I made the mistake already. But yeah, this is the completed spread. I just love how simple this looks like right off the bat, but once the clips come off, boom, you have the accordion. And I just love how it kind of abstracts that little hand that's in this print. And I just love how, again, experimental the whole vibe of this, while also keeping the spirit of, you know, the kind of junk journal aesthetic that you see a lot online. I don't, you know, junk journal often, but I love junk journaling, and I think this is a fun way to infuse a bit of junk journaling into, you know, your everyday journaling. If you're not using a junk journal insert, you can always you know, play around with your textures and the way you add things to a spread that give off a junk journaling vibe. But I think that is it, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to this really fun video. Be sure to check out all of the links in the description bar below, and be sure to check out my friend Meg, because all of her junk journaling videos are so fun and so inspirational, as well as check out all of the lovely videos in the Junk Journal January playlist. I will see you in the next video. Please take care, be safe, and have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.